If you are an immigrant living in Canada, chances are nobody taught you how to buy your first home. Let's find out.
You're listening to the Real Estate Growth Investor Circle Canada with your host, Gob. This is a safe space for immigrants, entrepreneurs, and future investors who are learning, growing, or taking their first steps in real estate. Here, we move with patience, focusing on clarity, confidence, and progress, one step at a time. Each episode is about real conversations, simple explanations, and honest stories from people who started right where you are and didn't give up. If you've ever felt overwhelmed, unsure, or discouraged, you're not alone. This podcast is here to guide, encourage, and remind you that growth is possible. Welcome to Growth Investor Circle to Real Estate Investing in Canada and around the world. Here's Gob.
Your parent didn't taught you how to build or to create wealth in Canada. They taught you what? They taught you how to work hard and how to support your family. I have a problem with this supporting family and working hard because this when you work hard and supporting family, what it doesn't create wealth, period. When you are supporting your family, you are killing your savings. Many parents right now, especially immigrant parents, won't be happy with me. Well, will disagree what I'm saying, which is fine. I'm just telling you, when you are supporting others, if you are not building anything, you are killing your savings. Some people are required to work 3 jobs in order to support their family and support other families back home. And when they do actually support them, what they get in a return, people always gonna stay people. But you gotta be comfortable to hear those I would say complaints or not, and you're gonna be able to decide if you wanna continue supporting your family and be exposed to these problems that comes after. Because when you are supporting the family, you are doing 3 to 5 jobs in order to do that. And you are exposing yourself to problems like health issues. You are spending all the money you are getting, you are sending it to your home, back home, and you are putting yourself to less time because you are working, you are not spending time with your family, and you don't have time to recoup. It's simply like that. You are exposing yourself to big problems by helping others. Is it the way you want to go? Or it's the time to decide which way should I want to go? And you can learn this, that if you are not building, you are staying behind. And if you are not creating, you're only doing nothing. So let's learn. The parent or Canadian system doesn't teach you how you to get mortgage, how the mortgage system works, how the credit works, how the home ownership works. You know what? Because home ownership has its own system. It has its way it works. And when you have to follow this system, you have to understand that if you don't have a great credit, you don't have a house. But if you are just a home buyer, that is not good because you will end up not having a house. But if you are an investor, there is a different way to go around this. If you stay tuned in the channels and you subscribe, definitely I will have time to walk you into the way you can go around this bank qualification for a mortgage or for credit. But right now, let's stay to this subject. So the credit is something that you build with time. Some of the African family or whatever, some immigrants, they will hesitate to take the credit. They will not take the credit. They will not build the credit because what is the credit? For them, it is that. And the fact that we don't know how to use that, something we don't know, we push it away. We don't put in the energy to understand it. And home ownership, it's something that people don't really pay attention because home ownership means you don't have to live in a rent apartment, because if you live in a renting apartment, it affects your quality of life, right? Who agree with me? If you live in an apartment, you have someone on top of you, and you have this problem of quality of life that you are missing. So, and you are not building a long-term asset if you're living in an apartment. That is a subject that I already covered into this podcast. if you go back to my episode, I already discussed the pros and cons of earning versus renting. So now the solution you can do to avoid all this cycle. The first one would be to start learning as soon as possible, to learn the system, to learn how it works, the mortgage system. So there is steps that we follow to follow and to not get trapped into this system. How you get your first home in Canada. If you stay tuned, I will definitely share it into the next episode. I will talk about what is the steps that you take to have to buy your first house in Canada. So let's talk about credit. Credit is a subject that really many immigrants suffer with because credit was designed to take money out of your pocket. It's a system that was designed purposely to not make you rich. But if you learn the best way to use it, you can become rich. Then definitely all of this subject will be covered step by step, how you can use credit to be rich. But the purpose of credit was designed to keep you poor if you don't know how to use it. There is now what you can do is to start budgeting, to be able to afford or to be able to buy a house one day in Canada. Start by making a budget. Don't spend everything you get. You have to save 10%. 10% of what you earn every day could be side hustle. Any money that comes into your house, save 10%. And learn how to be frugal, to not spend everything you get. This is where many people struggle. You get money, you start spending right away. You don't spend right away. You pay yourself first. Because if you pay yourself, then you take that money you think, you invest it into a purchase, like a house in the biggest goals that you have, or you build your finance emergencies. Those are the topics that we will be discussing. It. Just stay tuned, and I know that many people are stuck into this cycle, and I'm here to help you overcome all these problems. That is my promise to you. A plan. You have to have a plan to buy a house in Canada. You cannot just go and start buying any house you find on the market. There is a plan that I will definitely, if you get in touch with me, and I will definitely show you the plan, how it works. And step-by-step guide. I wrote this book. It's more for investors friendly. It's more to show you how you can buy a house without owning it. It's something that subject that I love, that I wrote a book about it. It's also something that you can require and learn from it. Okay. And let's talk about, wealth. Your home isn't an asset already. Why a home isn't an asset? What is an asset? An asset is something that adds money into your pocket, but a liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. So when we talk about asset and liability, we realize if you own a house and you are paying mortgage, monthly, is taking money out of your pocket. That is, your house in this case is not an asset. On the other hand, a liability is something that takes out money out of your pocket, but an asset is something that generates income in your pocket. For example, it adds money into your pocket. For example, if you have a house that you are renting, it's generating income it's adding money into your pocket. If you have, for example, you're doing house hack, those one who rent one room into their house, in that case, your house is becoming an asset. If you have money, if it's generating some income for you. A business, if you have like a house close to a commercial zoning area and you are either doing a business in your house and you are living in it, that would be an asset as well. If you have stocks and you have other different assets that we don't talk about it here, but they also assets because they add money into your pocket. Remember this, an asset is something that it's a business, it's an investment that generates money for you. But a liability, on the other hand, it takes money out of your pocket. For example, if you have a car loan, if you have a mortgage, it's a liability because it takes money out of your pocket. So that is the problem with this. The goal is to start building financial uh, skills that will help you exit uh, the right race, to not exit your 9 to 5 jobs, and by building skills and assets that will definitely help you in the long run. In the long run, because the show is to help you, immigrant, to build wealth and to start creating generational wealth by teaching you different strategies how you can help yourself and help your family in a better way. If you like what we discussed here, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share this episode because we will be adding more content that will help you not only become the first wealth generation in your family, but it will help someone you know that you love to learn this and to create wealth together. You are just step away from health, from wealth. Keep following us and subscribing to the channel. It's your host, Gab. See you again to the next episode.
Thanks for listening to the Real Estate Growth Investor Circle Canada. We hope you learned something valuable today that will help you continue to move forward on your real estate journey. If you need more information or you'd like to reach Gab for a one-on-one, go to growthinvestorcircle@gmail.com. Join us next time for more tips and proven strategies to grow your real estate business. Until next time, remember, progress comes one step at a time.